In Parashat Behar, we are given insight into the way God sees trading markets, right? Wall Street becomes God Street. One of the rules we learn, for 6 years you're allowed to work the land, right? Agriculture, that's the way it worked back then. And in the 7th year, it's Shemitah. It's a holy year, you're not allowed to work the land. Like you have 6 days a week where you can work, then the Sabbath you can't. Same thing on the Shemitah, no working the land. Okay. And then we are told, the Torah portion gives us a hypothetical question that the Bible believes each and every one of us are going to ask in our hearts. And that is, well, if we can't work the land for the 7th year, how are we going to eat? How are we going to survive? The answer, God says, don't worry. The 6th year, there's going to be a blessing. There'll be plenty of food in that 6th year for 3 years. I don't know about you. I wouldn't ask that question. I think that question is forced upon me. Remember, Israelites living in a mindset in the desert where if there's no water, God provides. There was delicacies, manna falling from the heavens. Every day we were taken care of. And not only that, we were told that on the Sabbath we're not allowed to collect manna, right? So what did we have to do? On Friday, collect enough, which God would provide for the whole weekend. So in that mindset, it would never even occur to me. If God tells me for 6 years we need to work the land, on the 7th I can't, God will provide. I shouldn't be asking that question. I'm not worried. And yet the Bible puts forces this hypothetical question in my mouth. It gets even worse. We're also taught about a 49-year cycle. These are these 7 same cycles. 6 years work the land, 7th it's holy. You do this for 7 times, you reach the Jubilee year. After the 49th year, something else happens. Not only is the land holy, but also, let's say you acquired land, right? You belong to the tribe of Dan, you're living on the beach, but you saw real estate prospects up in the Galilee where Menashe is, and you acquired land. On the 50th year, everything goes back to its original owner. It doesn't matter how much you spent and what you invested in, all investments go back to the tribes that were allocated, that God allocated when we entered the land. If you bought a slave, doesn't matter how much you paid for him or her, on the Jubilee year, on the 50th year, everyone's free. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a question I'd be asking. I'd want to be asking, why can't I keep that land? I worked hard. I want it to be for my kids, for their kids. If I bought a slave, why can't I keep this property? Especially in the day the way we live today, that is a question I want to be asking. And yet, in that instance, the Bible is silent. It does not provide a hypothetical question. It only provides a hypothetical question in an instance where I don't think I'd be asking that question. So what's going on here? Well, if you ask me, I think Parashat Behar, God Street, is trying to teach us the ethical questions that we should be asking. You see, the Bible answers, the Torah answers us after that bit about the 7-year cycle and God will provide. It tells us, "Ve'aretz lo timacher," you are not going to be able to sell the land for good because it's mine and because you are guests in this land with me. I think what's going on here is that the Bible remains silent and doesn't ask a question we all, or at least I would want to be asking, right? My evil inclination, because the Bible's trying to teach us, I know you want to ask that question, but if I didn't put it in, you need to teach yourself that that's not the question you should be asking. When you're living in a society where the land in Israel, and you're all supposed to be here together with God, you shouldn't be asking, why can't I keep it? You need to think in a fair mindset. And the questions you wouldn't think to ask yourself are the questions you should be asking. Shabbat Shalom.